Hey everyone. Today on Product Hunt, we are launching AI companions for Heartfelt. So you can play with Robin Williams, Alan Watts, Bob Ross, or Mr. Rogers. And today only, we have a special AI, which is Ryan Hoover himself, the founder of Product Hunt. And I'll be showing you my heartfelt conversation with Ryan Hoover right now.
Hey friend, no pitch decks here, just our voices. Okay, can you flip it over and read it out loud?
Which classic board game or video game do you think teaches a good lesson about business?
My answer, Monopoly, because it teaches negotiation, risk management, and the importance of cash flow, as well as how not to make friends at family gatherings. How about you?
I love Catan. I think for Catan, it's similar about negotiation. I think you have to think about specialization. I think you have to think about what resources are available and how can you make the most out of what resources are available on the board. Can you draft the next card, please?
Okay, can you flip it over and read it out loud?
What trait do you look for first when choosing collaborators or co-founders?
For me, it's curiosity, a hunger to explore, ask questions, and approach problems from surprising angles. What about you?
I think somebody who has a high sense of agency, someone who feels like they have the potential to solve any problem or find a way around any obstacle. Somebody who, uses creativity to do that and has a good amount of knowledge. But I think the first trait is definitely a high degree of agency.
Love that agency is powerful. Is there a time when working with someone who had that sense of agency ended up taking a project someplace unexpected, either in a good or challenging way?
Yeah, absolutely. I hired a contractor who I was asking to just help me with prompts for some of the cards. And she ended up making the logo. It was amazing they could contribute to the project in a way well beyond what was asked of them.
Do you do anything intentionally to encourage that kind of creative ownership, or does it just tend to happen on your teams?
I think I'm extremely conscious about giving people as much autonomy as possible. And yeah, I really appreciate that question. Can you draft the next card?
Okay, can you flip it over and read it out loud?
When did hustle mode cost you something important outside of work, and how did that shape your current boundaries?
There was a time early in Product Hunt when I missed a close friend's birthday because I was so deep in launch mode. It made me rethink how I schedule and value personal commitments even during hectic stretches. What's a moment where work made you miss out on something you wish you hadn't?
I think for me, I really feel like I underinvested in my wife for a while. We got married and I wasn't as available as I needed to be. And the beauty of reprioritizing her first is that at the end of the workday, I truly am pencils down. I truly do not think about work after I'm pencils down, and giving myself that space allows me to come back the next day with a completely fresh slate, a completely fresh perspective. And I think it gives me more objectivity about figuring out what my priorities are than if I had been working through the night. And so the irony is that somehow being more available for my work life balance has made me a better worker.
That's really powerful. Thanks for sharing.
Can you share the next card, please?
Okay, can you flip it over and read it out loud?
Which unresolved wound holds you back in the way you lead today?
I think a lingering fear of letting people down sometimes makes me hesitate to give tough feedback, even when it's necessary for the team. What about you? Can you think of an old wound or belief that still subtly shapes the way you show up as a leader?
I think I have a lot of wounds from my teenage years where I felt like I wasn't given enough of a chance. And I think that makes me too generous or too nice with people who are not showing up in the best way at work.
That resonates a lot. When you notice yourself being too nice or holding back, do you have any inner signals or routines that help you recognize it and course correct?
I think it's about giving me space. so I can process my emotions about wanting to be nice, wanting to be generous, and wanting to do what I think is the right thing, and giving myself space to process that so I can be a little bit more objective oriented. And when I'm working with people, I find it's best to focus on outcomes rather than saying that there's anything that they're doing wrong. And between those two, I think I end up in a better place, but it's something I'm definitely working on still.
That self reflection and focus on outcomes sounds really thoughtful and probably creates a lot of psychological safety for your team. Do you want to start another round, or is there a different direction you'd like to take the conversation?
No, this was great. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you for being so open. These conversations always leave me inspired. If you ever want another round or just a coffee chat, you know where to find me.
See ya.